Well, it's time to take a look at the best Star Wars TV show ever made, but also quite possibly the best thing that came out of Star Wars. Hello everyone, and today I'm taking a look at Star Wars The Clone Wars, the TV show. Yeah, this show was made right after the movie, and yeah, now you're probably wondering, what's the difference between this show and the 2003 show? Lots of things, like for example, there's 22 episode long episodes, and this show is CG. No, I'm not joking, this one is a CG show, and it is canon, unlike the 2003 cartoon, and yeah. So, what are my thoughts on Star Wars The Clone Wars TV show? Is it good or is it bad? It is quite possibly, probably the best thing to come out of Star Wars in my opinion. I am not even joking with that. Let's talk about the plot. The plot is that it's basically an anthology show where it takes there's a lot of different battles, a lot of different story arcs that happens throughout the show, but mostly the main three characters of the show are Anakin, Obi-Wan, and the new apprentice known as Ahsoka Tano. And unlike the movie, Ahsoka Tano is actually good in the show. I mean, in the first season, she's kind of annoying, but as the show progresses, she's a lot better. And yeah. Now, let's talk about the stuff I don't like about the show. And really, there's only two problems I have with this show, folks. Number one, there are some episodes that aren't as good as others. I mean, for crying out loud, this show is 6 seasons at the time, because there's going to be its 7th season on Disney Plus coming out in February, and I will review that season when it comes out. But yeah, you can't have a 6-season show and have all the episodes be outstanding. There are some episodes that aren't as good as others, like Jar Jar. We really don't like you, Jar Jar, but still. And also, sometimes the animation, especially in the first season, is kind of eh. But really, that's my only negatives with the show. It is fantastic. Let's talk about the new characters they introduced, because trust me, there are a lot of great new characters. First off, the clones. I'm not even joking, people. The clones in this show are really likable, in my opinion. Even though all of them are voiced by the exact same voice actor, and all of them look exactly the same, they all feel different to one another. In fact, there's even this squad we follow throughout the show called the Domino Squad, and throughout the show, they're slowly picked off one by one. And you really like them, you really like their dynamic, and the clones all feel like a family together. So whenever a clone trooper dies, especially one that we've been following for a while, you feel really bad for them, and there are even story arcs dedicated to them, like the Umbara arc, and the first 4 episodes of Season 6, which are all spectacular in my opinion. In fact, even the battle on Kamino, which is really well done. And yeah, especially characters like Fives, which I thought was really cool. And they even explore stuff like PTSD and even troopers that abandoned the war. And even a clone trooper named Gregor who lost his memory during a battle, and when he found out what his true purpose was as a clone trooper, he decided that he was going to sacrifice himself so that way R2 and the droids can get back to the Republic. Until Rebels, where he comes back. Like, seriously, I'm still confused about that. How did he survive a miniature explosion? Like, it was a big explosion, and he is the only one who survived that. I'm not even joking. But still, and they even have a character who was introduced in the 2003 show, Asajj Ventress, and she is a lot more fleshed out in this show, especially in Season 3, where we figure out her backstory, where Dooku is forced to kill her even though she appears in later seasons, and she has this new apprentice as a spy named Savage. Sorry about that, editor guys, but still, she has this assassin named Savage Opress, who is related to Darth Maul, and he is actually really cool in my opinion. I don't know why, but I've always been a fan of Savage. I just think he looks really cool and is awesome in a lot of moments. Like in his first battle against Jedi Knights, he defeats a Jedi Master with no lightsabers, and yeah, he just destroys everything in his path, and seeing him interact with Darth Maul is awesome, in my opinion. In fact, I'll get to Darth Maul later. And they also introduced a new bounty hunter in this show called Cad Bane, who is awesome in my opinion. He has that really cool style. He's very laid back in a lot of scenes, and in fact his voice feels kind of laid back voice. And there's actually a moment where he kills another bounty hunter just because he wants his hat. That is funny in my opinion. I don't know why, but still I think he's just really cool. And of course, how can I not talk about Darth Maul? In this show, he is glorious in my opinion. He is just fantastic. He is like, because of the show, Darth Maul is my favorite Star Wars villain. He is just so awesome. He wants revenge so badly for Obi-Wan slicing him in half on Naboo in Phantom Menace. And if you thought Darth Maul was boring in the Phantom Menace, trust me, he is just amazing in this show. Like, he goes on a rampage across the galaxy and starts like this civil war just to get Obi-Wan's attention. Like, I'm not even joking. He teams up with Death Watch, this group of Mandalorian people, and other crime families, just so he can like rule Mandalore and get Obi-Wan's attention. That is glorious in my opinion. And all he wants to do is just to torment and humiliate Obi-Wan. It is perfect in my opinion. He makes every villain that was released on Cartoon Network nowadays look like child's play. He is brutal in this show. He is not afraid to do anything bad. Like, seriously, he literally decapitates the leader of the Mandalorian people just so he can be like, I am the new leader of Mandalore. And he is just, what more can I say about him that hasn't already been said? He is just glorious, and he gets even, well, he's not as good as he was, I mean, he's better than he was in Rebels, even though he was pretty good in Rebels, but still, seriously, if it weren't for the Clone Wars or Rebels, Darth Maul would just be that typical villain that just looks cool and just does nothing really, but still. And, yeah, there's not much to say with new characters. They are really fantastic. They're fantastic in my opinion. And yeah, also I like how they introduced more Jedi Knights. In fact, some of them I really wish were explored more and we got to see more of, since some of them do die, and it kind of makes me upset. Like, there's this one Jedi named Ugum Dai. I'm not even joking, that's his name, who gets killed off in his first appearance. I'm like, I wish he was in more episodes in my opinion. And yeah. And also, this show is pretty brutal. I'm not even joking. They have some serious moments. They are not afraid to kill off any main characters. They will kill off important characters that you've grown to love in this show. Like, there's this moment where, this moment doesn't contain big characters that get killed off, but there's this part where, like, Savage takes his double-bladed lightsaber and throws and chucks it at these group of crime lords. And while they don't show the decapitation, they show the bodies, and the heads look exploded. This show is brutal, and I love it for that. I'm not even joking. It's the perfect blend of dark and comedic tone that I love in this show. And yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I consider this show to be one of the greatest shows of all time. So, okay, sorry about that editor, guys, but still, one last thing I want to talk about with the characters is that I love the dynamic between Obi-Wan and Anakin. You really feel like they're best friends, like they're brothers a lot of the time. And yeah, there's a lot of moments that reinstate that quote that Obi-Wan said in A New Hope, that Anakin was the best star pilot in the galaxy and a cunning warrior and a good friend. You really feel that bond between them, since they act sort of like a father and son type of dynamic, but they also have that brother dynamic, and you really feel bad for what is going to happen between them in Revenge of the Sith because of this show. And also, the romance between Anakin and Padme is actually a lot better in this show. Like, they actually delve deep into like the conflict they have with them having to keep their love a secret, and it's really good. And yeah, it's a really good show in my opinion. But there is one last thing I want to talk about with this show, and that, of course, is the storylines. I want to just list off some of my personal favorite storylines from the show. First off, the storyline that is the season 3 finale, which has, of course, Ahsoka being trapped and being, basically hunted for sport by these animal creatures, and you see like these other lost Padawans that have been captured, and Ahsoka becomes a leader, and you really see her development in this arc, which I thought was really cool in my opinion. Another storyline I think is really cool is the Umbar arc, where this general named General Krell, who is a Jedi Knight, is also a spy for Dooku, and he's about to become a Sith Lord, and there's even this part where he has both clone battalions fight each other to make it look like each side is pretending to be a clone, and you really feel like the struggle the clones find out. Like when the clones find out that they are killing their brothers, you really feel bad for them, and it does kind of have some great themes in it, like what does it mean to truly be a soldier and follow orders in this storyline. Another personal favorite of mine is the bounty hunter Obi-Wan storyline, where Obi-Wan fakes his death in order to sneak into this bounty hunter group that is going to try and capture the Chancellor to try to end the war. And my personal favorite episode from this storyline is The Box, which is still one of my favorite episodes in the show. It is a really good episode and a really good storyline, because it's kind of cool seeing Obi-Wan as a bounty hunter. Another favorite storyline of mine is, of course, the Darth Maul arc, where you see Darth Maul just taking over the galaxy in some parts, and it's really cool, especially the final battle between him, Savage, and Darth Sidious, where him and Savage fight Darth Sidious, and yeah, it's such a great scene in my opinion. Those are my personal favorite storylines. Comment down below what are your favorites, but still. Overall, The Clone Wars is a fantastic TV show in my opinion, and is easily the best Star Wars show ever made. And in my opinion, I would probably put it in my top 5 of my favorite shows of all time. It is just such a fantastic show. I can go on about it all day long and tell you how great it is, but just watch it. It's on Disney Plus for free. Watch it. It's fantastic, but I do recommend you watch it in chronological order since some episodes were released out of order. But yeah, it's a fantastic show. I'm giving the show a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. Go check it out if you haven't. And yeah, next time we'll be taking a look at another show that was animated. We're taking a look at Star Wars Rebels. Join me later to take a look at Rebels tomorrow. See you all later, and bye, and comment down below what you thought of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the TV show, and I'm giving Star Wars The Clone Wars, the TV show, a 10 out of 10. See you all later, and bye.